Hey everyone, it is Dr. Kyle, and I want to take a few minutes today to talk to you about the differences between some of the most popular eating plans that are available or that are out there right now, and also one that we use here in Max Living called the Advanced Plan. So I want to talk specifically about the differences or similarities between the Paleo diet, the Keto diet, and the Max Living Advanced Plan. Now, there's a lot of overlapping in these plans. They're all very based on some very good science, which is that you want to put food into your body that builds up your body, that gives it the nutrients and the macronutrients it needs to replenish cells and make you healthy, but avoid the things like sugar or other dangerous toxic chemicals that take away health from your body. So that's the foundation for each of these, with slightly different approaches and slightly different outcomes. The other thing I'd say is that each one of these diets is designed to make you healthier. And so while weight loss is certainly one of the outcomes, when you eat healthy over a period of time, it is not, none of these are designed to be purely a weight loss program. You are going to lose weight if you need to, most likely, but none of these should be used as only a way to lose weight and neglecting all the other benefits. So what are the differences between these plans? Well, let's talk about what each one is meant to do. The first one we'll talk about is the Paleo plan. The Paleo plan is designed around eating foods that our ancestors ate that were readily available to us, things that come from the earth, that are grown, that are minimally or not processed at all. So ideally, you're eating foods that are raw, they're maybe steamed or very simply prepared, whereas they're not something that you would get off a shelf, nothing that's put into packages or bags or things that would be preserved over a longer period of time. So you're focusing on eating good, healthy fats from properly raised animals, and you're focusing on eating plants and vegetables, things from the earth that have very minimal processing. The keto plan is based on getting your body into a state of what's called ketosis, where you are metabolizing or burning fat for your energy for everyday activities, as opposed to burning carbohydrates. Your body has several different sources of fuel it can use. Carbohydrates or sugars are the fastest source of energy. So if you eat a lot of carbohydrates, if you eat starchy foods or sugars, your body will burn through that energy very quickly. And if there's too much of it, it will never actually get to the point where it's burning the fat stores in your body. Ketosis robs your body of those sugars, those carbohydrates, in order to get you to the stage of ketosis where it's purely burning fat for your everyday activities. But again, it focuses on eating good, healthy foods. And a big factor in this is good, healthy fats that you put into your body, because counter to what we're told or what our society often preaches, eating healthy fats does not make you fat. Eating healthy fats is extremely important for your body's health. The last one is the advanced plan. Now, the advanced plan, again, falls very similar to the goals of the keto and the paleo diet. You're eating good, healthy foods, healthy fats. You're eating as much unprocessed. You're cutting out unnecessary sugars. It is a little bit more restrictive when it comes to things like fruits or natural sugars are there as well. And the goal is because by cutting out the sugars, you are eliminating one of the largest sources of inflammation in your body. And if you are aware, the inflammation is what causes pain, but actually long-term it can lead to, or it does lead to, things like heart disease or other diseases as well. So it's a really good way of looking at, again, not just weight loss, although it's a side effect, but really cutting down inflammation that leads to just a horrible lifestyle and unfortunately health and poor health and sickness throughout your life. Now let's get into a little bit about what is allowed, what isn't allowed on each one, and how that differs between those. I'm going to put up a graphic that shows very clearly or very easily some of the guidelines of paleo versus keto, and then we'll talk about how that affects into the Max Living Advanced Plan as well. With the keto diet, which is there on the right side, the paleo on the left, and then in the middle you can see that's where they overlap or very similarities. The paleo diet, you are allowed to have fruits because, again, it's focused on things that can be grown, minimally processed. You can have all fruits regardless of their glycemic index. You are allowed to have starchy root vegetables like potatoes and things as well on the paleo plan. And you're not allowed to have, or you're not supposed to have, processed sugars or things like high fructose corn syrup or things like that, but natural sweeteners like honey are allowed on this plan specifically. Keto follows those same guidelines. They also allow those natural things, but one big difference that they have is they do allow you to have dairy products, which is not something that paleo has on their plan. Both of them agree on a couple of key things. Number one, you're cutting out grains, you're cutting off carbohydrates, so no breads, things like that are overly processed carbs. to your body that really are just sugar. You are cutting out legumes or beans in both of those plans. It's encouraging for both to have properly raised meats, so pasture raised, animals that are raised eating their natural foods and not just fed corn or things like that to beef up. So you're looking at organic, grass-fed, pasture-raised, free-range type of animals in order to get good, healthy fats. Those are the major similarities between those. Now, the one thing too about the keto diet is there's a big focus on counting your macros. So you actually, for instance, when you go shopping, you'd be looking at counting how many carbohydrates and protein and things like that. And while that can be incorporated into the paleo diet, there's much more of an emphasis on keto because you're trying to keep below a certain number of carbohydrates every day or every meal in order to keep your body in that state of constant ketosis. Now, the advanced plan follows very similar to these, but I'd say overall it's probably most closely related to the paleo, or to the to the keto plan. So with the keto plan, it's almost an easy transition because really what you're doing there to go advanced is you're cutting out the dairy milk portion of this. Dairy is not allowed on the advanced plan, but it has the same limitations when it comes to good fats, good oils. You're eliminating the starchy vegetables that would be allowed under paleo, but they're not allowed under keto. And you're really limiting the fruits that you're taking in under the advanced plan. You're only taking in the most low glycemic index fruits. So things like green Granny Smith apples, grapefruit, limes, or berries are the only fruits that are allowed on the advanced plan because they have such low sugar contents. Those fruits would be allowed on the paleo diet specifically. So there are some differences between them. It is, I would say, maybe easiest between the keto and the advanced plan. Now, any one of these plans can be amazing for your health, depending on what you're looking for, what your lifestyle is in closest accordance with. It's easy to do research on these because they are such well-studied and well-published. I'd encourage you to do so from a good, reputable source. And if you have questions, you can always talk to your doctor, your chiropractor, specifically here in the clinic about which one might be best for you, depending on the goals that you'd like to achieve. The other thing we do is we do have things like you can have a consultation with nurse practitioner Abby in our clinic specifically. She's an expert on nutrition and how it fits into an overall holistic approach to your health, and can even work with you to come up with a very specific diet plan that meets your goals, whether it's one of these three or something else that's out there. So hope this was just a little scratch of the surface, maybe answered a few questions about these three specific plans, the differences, and what the benefits are. Please do your own research and decide what is best for you, but just know that any one of these would be amazing for your health. Have a great day. I can't wait to see you in the office.